Celebrating 15 years of podcasting, here's a memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
I found myself a new mother. She's a heavy-set woman of color. Big Mama got it all.
Oh!
And she fights for me. She fights for me.
Well,
She's
you
my
should
voice.
be thoughtful. You're handsome.
That's something my mom would never say that.
I'm your mama now, baby.
Yeah, that's what I love about you, Big
What's
Mama.
wrong? You gotta complain about something. You gotta let off your chest.
Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna do.
Huh? What was that now?
What we're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't said it yet.
Yeah.
No, let me say it.
Sure.
No, I'll say it.
You have the floor, baby.
When
My
I'm
titties itch.
No, when people are yell something out that I can't complain about, that they think I can't complain about, but I'll find a way to complain about it.
I already know what you can't complain about, Adam Carolla. Carolla.
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Jay Moore's Big Mama.
So good.
Big Mama's got it all. It sounds like a joke, but I do fantasize about having a big black mom who just gave fucking.
For you and me, what that character was so appealing.
Oh,
so appealing because we had the opposite. Like somebody fighting for you, supporting you. How confusing.
Like somebody where I could, when I was 9, could knock some kid off his Schwinn, kick him and take his bike and put it in my backyard. Oh. And if his mom came to my house to get the bike back, my mom would fight her on the lawn.
I don't need to
screaming,
go all the way there.
My son is no thief,
I get
like
it.
that. No, but I had the 100% opposite.
I mean, too, in a weird way, at least in terms of advocating and supporting, I had the same.
Yeah.
Also, a good time to mention the show you do with Jay Moore, Beat It Out.
Oh yeah,
available on Substack.
Yeah, Jay's super funny.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we just had Ed Calderon in the studio yesterday.
I security, saw this, just for Drew, Mexican security expert.
I saw this last night, and there's since been some added to the story, but the decapitated head of a mayor in Mexico was found atop his car just 6 days into his tenure, marking the second official to be murdered in Guerrero's capital city in less than a week. The body of Alejandro Arcos, the 43-year-old mayor of the city of Chilpancingo, was found inside his pickup truck Sunday night while his head was propped on top of the vehicle.
Maybe he's just trying to use the diamond lane. That's a ploy, Cop sees one guy driving, other guy's head's hanging out on the sunroof. Like, it's a couple of tall dudes, and a real tall guy and a shorter guy. They're driving.
It's one of those weird convertibles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Burt Reynolds movie, now you're going to have to look for this, Joe. In the Burt Reynolds movie Gator, Burt Reynolds in the early 70s in the movie Gator.
Okay.
He was a Florida Gator.
Okay.
He was doing, I don't know, PI, cop, I don't know the fuck, when in the 70s, Burt Reynolds, it was all cars skidding out, Burt chewing gum with a mustache, No one knew what it was about. But in Gator, the guy from the Bond movies, Jaws, the giant guy with the teeth, he was one of the heavies. He was one of the bad guys, and he drove with his head hanging out of the sunroof of like a Lincoln, like probably like a
Lurch?
73 Lincoln or something. No,
different guy.
Lurch was a different guy. Sorry.
The day of his murder, Arcos had visited Chilpancingo neighborhoods that were damaged during Hurricane John. The people are still reeling from the murder of a new government secretary, Francisco Tapia, who was shot and killed last week. And here's what happened. There are young and honest officials who sought progress for their community. Senator Alejandro Moreno wrote, Guerrero became one of the deadliest states for local politicians and journalists. At least 6 candidates for public offices were killed in Guerrero leading up to Mexico's June election. So basically what happened is he got offered the silver or the lead.
Yep.
And being a man of moral character, he chose the lead.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, you don't choose the lead. You just choose not to take the silver.
Right. It's
and
a choice.
hope you don't get the lead, but the lead will be coming.
But that is the choice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Mexico's really turned into a shit show.
Oof.
Who was the actor from Gator who was 7 foot tall?
Was he the same? He was the same guy from the Bond.
I think he was the same guy from the Bond. Yeah, he was the same guy from the Bond.
Richard Keel?
Richard Keel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, you got to find a picture of him hanging his head out of that sunroof. Because it could have been where the cartels were inspired.
They were
a lot of
going
those
for
guys
that.
like
Yeah.
70s
Sure.
Burt Reynolds movies.
Yeah,
Of course,
course.
it's well known.
Yeah. Smoking the Bandito. Someone's got to put a list together. All right, here we go.
But
Well, we'll find it.
the city's previous mayor, by the way, was videotaped, allegedly holding a meeting with leaders of the gangs that control the area.
God.
So she was videoed, so she was expelled from office.
Right.
And then this guy went in to run, and the cartels are having none of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's getting bad.
Getting
and also,
bad. Oh, there it is.
there he is, driving a Ford LTD with his head hanging out of the sunroof. Looking a lot like that mayor about now.
Is that the snowman in the passenger seat?
Jerry Reed?
Yeah.
It looks like the snowman, but everyone had
Everyone
long
had that
hair
there, yeah.
and sideburns.
That
and
guy
wasn't
could be either Starsky or Hutch, and I wouldn't know.
Well, the deal is nobody was fat.
Right.
Everybody was 40 and looked 63, and they all had long hair and sideburns.
Yeah.
So and maybe a mustache. So we couldn't really tell anyone apart back then. You know.
Yeah.
That was how we did it.
A lot of style compliance
Yes.
because the styles were also shitty. If you didn't comply, you'd stand out.
Yes. Yes. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. There's a retirement community in Walnut Creek, California, close to where I grew up. It's called Rossmore. It's a beautiful enclave, hidden private golf courses. You got to be 65 years old there to live. It was basically started, I believe, in 1965 by older conservative people, but lately more and more, let's say, non-conservative people are getting in there. In the community of Rossmore, there is a Palestinian support group.
Hold
which
on. I'm assuming
they're
our
pretty big
guest
on.
is here, or maybe not. I don't.
But I've heard this story, and these guys are coming to blows on the golf course.
Yeah. There's
These
a beautiful
old
golf
men
course.
are out there fighting about politics.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the golf course.
I installed dishwashers there and other kitchen appliances,
did?
and it's the
Nice.
most beautiful place on
And
earth.
They now have
Tell whomever's in charge of the guest sign to put the guest sign up when the guest shows up, because otherwise I get confused because I see him through the window, but then I don't see the sign, so then I wonder.
So I'll tell
I've
you,
never heard you mention that before.
I'll tell you this.
It's like, wow.
I'll tell you this one part
In
of the
Dawson's
story.
argument for Dawson's, I had to put guest on both sides of the sign because he used to put the blank side out and look at the guest side. But yes, there's been a lot of discussions about.
Well, that wasn't me.
I
That's
know
all right,
he
though.
just walked in. I understand that, but I'm staring at him for a little while and there's no sign, but I'm not totally sure if it's the guest or sometimes they have people they travel with.
So on July 13th, Rossmore's pickleball courts were abuzz with activity. That Saturday, about 24 residents milled about a pickleball court around the time former President Trump survived an assassination attempt at a Pennsylvania rally. According to witnesses, an enraged older woman barreled in and approached the courts. Quote, "She came in yelling at us that the president had been shot," recalls one onlooker, "and she was daring anyone to say yay." A scuffle ensued between the woman and a septuagenarian female at is that 80 plus?
70s.
70s. Okay.
I told you it's almost exclusively women fighting now.
Yeah, two women.
Which is a part of my presentation about bitches gone nuts.
Your presentation. This slideshow.
I've been trying to
The
make a
PowerPoint.
case for women have gone nuts. And they've gotten way too full of their own shit and empowered, and they're fucking up a lot of stuff, and it's not good. And every time we go, well, we got another female elected to the city council, and everyone goes, oh, this is progress. No, it is
know what,
not.
though? I
No,
gotta
it
tell you
is not.
something. Again, I always point out that I'm studying the French politics very carefully. The women there have not gone nuts. They seem quite composed and sane all the time.
We weaponized our women here by telling them no one could tell you what to do, and you're a queen, and nobody whatever. And now they're fighting in airports. So
We've done something different, that's for sure.
yeah, something's different. Yeah, so
These old
women
ladies.
and old people are fine. Like
And
everyone
to be
is
fair, maybe we're just behind the French. 100 years ago, the French women were forming communes and killing people.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's next.
Oh, shit.
The women were kicking, hitting, and pulling each other's hair. Walnut Creek police were called to the scene.
Here's a thought. I don't know what the answer is, but I suspect the answer. If you polled your average Trump-hating woman and or Trump-hating man, especially on the younger side, and you said, do you wish that assassination attempt was successful?
Yeah.
I think a higher percentage of young women would check that box than the men.
I hear it. They say it out loud.
So what's going on? Because that formally wouldn't have happened.
I know.
They would have hated whomever, but they wouldn't have checked the box. Now,
But they're
I'm not saying the
oppressed.
box is...
They're oppressed and they
that's
see him
true.
as an oppressor.
I'm not saying the box is 90% to 10%. I'm just saying I think a higher percentage of women would be all right with that. And I think you know what I think it is, Drew?
What?
Well, you see the movie Valkyrie with Tom Cruise?
I'm familiar with it.
Well, if you watch that movie Valkyrie with Tom Cruise, it's about the guys trying to assassinate Hitler.
Yes.
Everyone in the movie theater is rooting for Tom Cruise to assassinate Hitler.
Right.
Why?
Well,
Hitler bad?
They know what he did. They
And what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you believe it,
Right.
then you would root for it.
That's right.
So probably a higher percentage of women believe it.
Oh, that's why.
So then you would root for it.
That's why I keep saying that people have become delusional, and the idea of accusing the other people of lying. Be careful with that. They're not. Their thinking is disturbed.
I'm still going to call them liars.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, Dawson.
That's all right. No charges were filed because of insufficient evidence, but one resident of Rossmore says, and this goes as a Republican, he just says, I just want to be left alone, mostly.
That's mostly Republicans,
So if-
period, isn't it? Isn't that
Yeah.
sort of the vibe of Republicans? Had always been, anyway.
So if I'm at the bocce ball court or something,
Bocce
I don't
ball.
want to hear unsolicited political comments.
Bocce
but this,
ball.
you got to see Rossmore, man. If I was 65, I would totally live there. But when I had to work there in my early 20s, I
I'm
wanted to
60
create let's take it back.
I'm
Let's
You
take it back.
install dishwashers there, huh?
Dishwashers, ovens,
I'm 66,
water lines,
and the
stuff like
idea
that.
of going to live somewhere with a bunch of old people is just the oddest idea to me.
Yeah.
I'll get there, I guess.
But you see this place, and you're like, it's your, it's all old people. But man, it is the most beautiful piece of real estate.
Speaking of old, do you see Belichick has a 24-year-old girlfriend now?
Yeah, I love that.
Good for him.
It's so entertaining.
Well, I don't, as long as everyone is of age and right-minded, then who cares? Is the way
I
would
don't
go.
care. I just think it's there they are. I just think it's comical meets odd meets interesting. Just
Well, if you think about it, if you think about the part where the physicality is not it's such a high priority for women,
right.
right?
But resources are for some, especially.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And we've said don't get married, don't have kids.
well,
Sort of
okay,
pushing that these
Belichick
days.
is not, an ugly troll of a man.
No.
He's for a 74-year-old or
Yeah.
whatever. He's in fine shape, whatever. But if you go, look, where do our priorities lie as a woman? And you go, well, physicality's up there, but it's not at the top.
Yeah.
Resources are up there. Personality's up there, sense of humor, like whatever it is. And we get to the physicality part. Well, Bill Belichick, one of the greatest strategic minds
Yeah.
since General Patton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the guy you get to hang out
Well,
with.
not only that, but let you're 23 or 24. You want to tour around, have an exciting life for 4 years? Fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's about money. I think it's more about we will take the physicality, put it in the back seat. It's going to be in the car, but it's in the back. And I will take a bunch of other shit and let them ride shotgun. Yes?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. That's why it's comical, guys. I'm just saying.
Let's do one more.
All right.
Chavos here, and we got to figure out how that story went
Well, you know how much
at the restaurant.
you know how much you hate the guy who runs on Thanksgiving. All right.
I don't like that guy. That's Drew.
That's me.
But that's why I don't like him.
What if?
What if? It's because.
What if?
Sorry.
You could take a pill and get the exact same effects
Okay.
that you would
Keep going.
if you were running a 10K.
Never happened, but keep going.
No, this
Researchers in Denmark say it has.
Okay.
Well, again, when you say Denmark, we go, okay. If you say Mexico, we go, get the fuck out of here.
They've developed a new drug that mimics the effects and benefits of strenuous exercise without moving a muscle.
Okay.
Here,
I'm
listen.
listening.
Here's the deal. It's the same
No
way
free
that-
lunch in Mother Nature. There'll be you'll grow an arm somewhere else.
Listen, all those with the so much Ozempic talk
Yep.
and
Right.
Mounjaro talk or whatever. I just shot a stand-up special. I wanted to lose 10 or 15 pounds before the stand-up special, and a month out, I just said, sorry with the potatoes and sorry with the cake. It's going to be protein, and that'll be that. And
Guess what?
that was that. And
what?
I fucking had one of the, some of the shittiest meals ever with my girlfriend and my daughter, watching them devour sushi while I'm eating beans in front of them, or hot peppers sauteed with the fucking piece of raw fish.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just noshing on the fucking California rolls and all the rolls. And I'm just sat in between them going, ironically, I'm paying for this. I'm fucking miserable. Drinking an iced tea, with no sweetener in it.
You're a hero. You are.
You can do that for a month and you will lose 13 pounds like I did, or you can take the shot and do it as well.
Scary way.
Or you can just do it.
You know the number.
But here's the real problem.
Okay.
You take the pill or the shot, you've lost the ability to do it.
Right.
And then that
hang on.
bleeds into every facet of your fucking life.
It's back to cold showers. But
Right.
something like 30-40% of people on the shot stop, and the weight loss is not very well maintained when you stop. But the number one reason they stop the shot? Cost. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the drug is currently called Lake, I believe, or Lake. It's been shown in lab rats to flush toxins and strengthen the heart, in addition to triggering the release of appetite-suppressing hormones. The spike also flushes fatty acids from the bloodstream, replacing the risk of conditions like heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes, and participating in the body's repair system.
I'll wait to see.
No matter how great a pill or a shot is and how miraculous it is, I'm still always against it
Sure.
if it means you don't have to engage in a behavior that is healthy. Because I just think that spreads. I believe that Drew's consistency and discipline with diet and exercise also is why he's a physician, and is also why he was able to pull double shifts, and also why he's able to travel on weekends and lecture and stuff like that. I believe it's all intertwined.
One thing I noticed when I used to be a gym rat a little bit, but the guys that were in the gym all the time, eventually, they may not have always been the most motivated or sort of work ethic, but they all ended up doing a lot of stuff. All of them ended up just really succeeding in various ways.
Yeah. All right. Chavos here, best from System of a Down. Drew and I were ruminating, speculating about our famous System of a Down dinner.
Yeah.
What year would you say that would be?
Oh, my God. Was it 90s? 99?
Yeah. I was going to guess and say 99.
Yeah.
We have to figure out when System of a Down really hit.
Remember the first time we saw them was at the Best Buy parking lot in Arcadia. Remember? Were you backstage there? And they were like, what is this noise? It's so loud.
People were going nuts.
Nuts.
Well, that was a calendar signing.
Was it? Yeah, I can believe that.
Do you remember me turning the whole crowd against me at the calendar signings?
I don't.
They would have these goddamn calendar signings, and they'd be, it's at the parking lot at the Best Buy in Claremont or something. And I'd go, look, first things first. I go, the station's in Burbank.
Yeah.
Everybody here lives somewhere around the station or can get to the station. Yeah. Why do we have to go to Orange County for all these things? They go, there's a big fan base in Orange County. I go, yeah, let them drive out to Glendale. Why are we all having to make the pilgrimage to Orange County?
Huntington Beach or Westminster.
Yeah, it was always a fucking 2-hour drive. And I'm like, let them. And then they'd line everybody up and they'd slide all the calendars down, right?
Here we go. Let's go. Come on now.
And Tammy Heidi, we'd be putting, like, bedazzling her name with glue and stuff.
Having a big conversation.
And I'd be going, move it along, move it along, move it along. There's 500 people waiting in line. Move it the fuck along. And then they would go, come on, we're taking pictures with people and stuff. I go, look at the line. Look at the line. It's never going to end. And they would go, we're taking pictures. I go, Jed the Fish, whoever. Sign your name, slide it. Yep. Sign it, slide it. And they're like, we're taking pictures, and I'm bedazzling my signature. I go, look at it. There's 1,000 people. And then at some point, I stood up and I said, listen to me. I'm leaving at 5. I'm out. You fuck around with the calendars all you want. It's 2:30. We're out at 5. This thing says noon to 5. I'm out at 5. That's it. Fuck around all you want, but I'm leaving at 5. And they would still fuck around the thing. And at 5, I just got up and I said, I'm out. There's still 200 people left, and they'll start booing me.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we went into the Best Buy.
Oh, yes, we
This
told the
is
lady to
Dr. Drew's
fuck off.
favorite story.
It's so good.
How you tell that story?
I can't. No way I could tell as well as you. But you want me to try?
Give it a try.
It'll
Drew and
lose
I
some of its
are walking
gloss.
through the Best Buy after the signing,
and I
looking
don't
for a
remember
phone
what we were
answering
looking
machine.
at.
I look for like a
hair dryer
portable
or something.
phone.
Yeah, portable phone, something very random. And I don't remember what the woman came up to you and said. I remember what you said, but she said something like, "It's kind of, hey Adam, great to meet you. How do you feel to be such an asshole?" or something like that. And Adam just goes, "Fuck off."
No.
Scram.
No. See what memory does.
Wow.
When I tell you what I told her, you'll know immediately.
Hold on, let me say it, because you barely looked up at her, and it was something like scram.
Yeah, she just came and said, "Want to know why I was such an asshole?"
Yeah, and I don't remember. I would have said scram at the.
First off, you ever heard me say scram?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Dawson?
Now I'm doubting it.
I've heard it.
You've heard
It's
me say
not
scram?
too often, but yeah, I've heard it. Mainly when you're telling
I'm
stories.
making fun
though.
of old
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
No,
I've heard you
I'm not
say
saying
it.
I don't know the word scram.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you hear me use
I've
the
heard
word
you
scram?
say it when recounting stories. When you're saying stories. So, yeah,
What
I
did
just
you
said
say? I wanna know what you
scram. Yeah, just tell them what you said. I've heard it. I've heard you say it.
You didn't say fuck off.
Dawson, you have a unyielding energy for this kind of stuff. No, I don't say scram. I never say
Okay,
scram.
we'll accept you.
I said beat it.
Beat it.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
And yes, I have said beat it.
yes.
I never say scram to
Yeah.
anyone. But if I'm making a story about an old person.
Isn't it
That's
interesting that beat it
all I'm
scram?
saying.
No,
I've
you're
heard
saying,
you
okay, say the story, you say
It's the hard
scram.
thing here.
No,
How
I
beat it-
said when you're
listen to-
recounting
I'm
a story.
saying, where does your energy to disagree so fervently come from?
The fact that I'm right and I heard you say the word scram, I
That's not
didn't
what we're
tell
discussing.
you. I didn't tell you that you've used the word scram in
No,
conversation
I
when
said
you're
to
saying
Drew,
scram.
when have you ever heard me use the word scram and you dove in and said, I hear it all the time?
All right, so listen.
That's the part I'm reacting to.
Isn't it
That's the
interesting?
part I'm talking
I'm more interested
Why
in-
do you feel to jump in and negate my story is what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to negate your story. I'm just agreeing with Dr. Drew because I've heard you
I
say
asked
scram.
Dr. Drew if he'd heard me use the word scram, and you dove in. Why?
I did. I'm here with a microphone. I feel that.
I think there's something different. You may not be aware of it.
Okay.
It's just that energy. That's all. And then you went hard on it when I told you I didn't use it. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I
is
gotta
that
get home pretty
accurate?
soon. I want to see Shava before I leave.
I don't want to disagree with you anymore.
No, you can disagree, but I'm saying I think it's invisible.
I'm saying I've heard you say scram
Tell you what,
before.
I'm gonna move into that
conversation,
seat.
not as telling someone to scram.
You said when you hear me tell stories, I'd say scram.
You've used the word scram when describing a story. The word has passed through your lips. That's all I'm saying. I've heard you say it. I'm not saying you've ever told anyone to scram.
But
Okay.
what's interesting is that I put beat it and scram at the same place in my head, which is kind of
Yes.
interesting.
All right.
That's kind of weird, isn't it? Beat it and scram go to the exact. They were
Beat-
like
I've never
exactly
said
the-
scram
I
to
know, but they're
anybody.
exactly the
I've heard,
same.
I've
I
heard
know
you say
the word
beat it.
scram.
I've heard you say beat it a million times when
All
you're
right.
telling people to
Well,
beat
I
it.
said
would-
beat it because I don't use the word scram because scram would be comical.
Right.
And beat it would be
Right.
authoritative.